Season 2 Reloaded is coming in just 2 days on Wednesday afternoon, and we've finally got all of the details of what's going to be in there. It is a bunch of stuff we expected, but also some things that I find kind of surprising, both in a good and bad way. In this video, I'm going to break down everything that's coming on Wednesday in the new update. Also, the background gameplay in this video might look a little bit strange. It's because I've been recording it from PlayStation. I've been playing everything on PlayStation just with crossplay off now because the hacking problem is so bad in Call of Duty. You honestly never know whether someone that's beaten you is cheating or not, which is just ridiculous. So until they fix that, I think I'm going to be mostly playing on PlayStation. But let's get started with the blog post and all the details about everything that's coming in Season 2. So, first of all, there's some new stuff coming to multiplayer. The biggest one is Das Haus. So, Das Haus is being remade. This is a Call of Duty Vanguard map that was pretty popular. It's one of those maps a little bit like, Shipment and Nuketown. One of those small maps that people liked having to grind their weapons in. I'm kind of happy with them bringing in a lot more of these small maps because I used to get super fed up of games where I would only be playing Shipment if I wanted to do the camo grind because everything else was just much slower. It's nice to at least have a few different options so you get a bit of variety. Das Haus was a fun map. It's a shame that one of the big things about Das Haus and one of the big things about Vanguard was the destructible scenery, and Das Haus used it really well. There was a lot of kind of wooden walls that would open up new routes between the different rooms. That's not in it anymore because obviously there's no destructible scenery now in Modern Warfare 3, so instead it's all just open. And they've gone for this kind of theme that makes it look a little bit like High Rise. I mean, it's fun enough. I think that's fine. There's also a new playlist with map variants. There's Vortex Decay's Realm. This is this kind of vaguely zombie-esque mode that's coming back. They had it before where you'd find a ray gun, and they had it in Quarry and something else. Now they're going to have it in Terminal. There's a version of Terminal called Airborne where there's kind of spores all over the place. Looks a little bit Last of Us themed. And then there's Skid Row, which also looks a little bit Last of Us themed. If I didn't know better, I'd think that they were planning this to do some sort of Last of Us crossover for Call of Duty. And then when the Microsoft buyout went through, they were like, well, we're not going to do that anymore. Because these two just seem very kind of Last of Us-esque, don't you think? I don't know, let me know in the comments what you think about that. But they're just skins for these maps, they're not different versions of the maps or anything like that. There's also this new mode called Juggermosh and Bounty. Bounty isn't actually that new, it's just like where it's kind of team deathmatch, but if you've got lots of kills, then you're worth more to the enemy. It says the biggest player on each team will be designated as a HVT, and that player carries a flag like Most Wanted in Warzone and awards extra points when eliminated. That's not that interesting. I'm pretty sure we've had modes like that before. Juggermosh, as far as I know, is new, and it's got this kind of interesting Warhammer 40,000 spin on it. So they've been teasing the Warhammer 40,000 skins for a few days now, which is pretty cool. And I was really excited about the idea of playing Warzone as a Space Marine. Turns out that's not exactly how it's going to work. Instead, the real Space Marine skins are just for Juggernauts. And there's going to be this new mode to show them off, Juggermosh, where basically everybody drops in as either an Ultramarine or a Blood Angel Space Marine in the power armor and everything like that. You get the same capabilities as a Juggernaut recon kill streak. So everyone's got it, and you're trying to fight for a one-hit kill melee weapon, the chainsword that's in the middle of the map, so you can kind of go in, try to kill everyone, you get armor a little bit like Warzone, fighting people to try and get this chainsword, and then I'm guessing it'll be a bit like Team Deathmatch. There's no full damage, which is pretty cool, because it's a Juggernaut, so it'll do that area of effect stun. Sounds pretty cool, sounds like a lot of fun. Unfortunately, that does kind of lead on to this Space Marines bundle, which I was really excited about. I've actually been saving my COD points to be able to get the Space Marines bundle. I was super excited about that, and I still will probably get it, but if you see these two guys either side of the Space Marine, that's the operator skin that you will get if you buy the Space Marine bundle. Instead, the actual Space Marine skin is just for when you've got a Juggernaut. Now, I mostly play Warzone, and you don't really get to be a Juggernaut very often in Warzone. Sometimes there's the odd like limited time mode, or very occasionally there'll be like an Easter egg or something that will reward you with a Juggernaut skin. More on that later. But yeah, it just kind of means that if you buy this bundle, you're probably not going to get to play as a Space Marine very often, which is a little bit of a shame, other than in the Juggermosh mode, where everybody gets to play as one anyway, so who cares. But anyway, that's the Space Marines bundle, and there's a bit more of information about that later. Now let's move on to zombies, which I'm sure a lot of you are excited about. We are finally getting some new zombies content. We barely got anything in Season 1 Reloaded. We didn't get anything in Season 2. Now we're getting a few different bits and pieces. So we're getting a new story mission. It is just one mission. It's not a full act or anything like that. I think they've made it pretty clear we're not going to get entire acts like we used to with DMZ. So we get one new mission where we're going back into the Dark Ether, into another rift. Once you complete that story mission, then you'll be able to do another little Easter egg to open up the Dark Ether rift again. Just like, you know, you did before where you had to go grab those various items and then fly through the things in the sky. It sounds like there's something similar to that again, where you're going to have to be getting some items, and it says some timed challenges you're going to have to do. If you manage to complete all of that, you'll be able to unlock access to a new rift gate, and then inside that you'll be able to complete challenges to get special rewards like the Blood Burner key. So some of the new things that they've got available. There's also a new Warlord. I couldn't care less about there being a new Warlord because you don't get any special rewards for them. It's just a new boss that you can fight if you want. It sounds like they're going to be in a fortress in Orlov military base filled with gas, and they're all going to have thermal scopes and lots of sensors and stuff. It just sounds like it's going to be really annoying to fight, to be honest. So that's a thing I'll probably do once on stream and then never again, just like Dockerby was. There's also the new schematics. Sadly, they're not really anything super new. There's the Mags of Holding, that's the newest one. That's where if you've got that equipped, you won't have to reload anymore. Your shooting will just go straight from your sort of backpack rather than your magazine, which is kind of crazy. The Blood Burner key will just let you summon one of those motorbikes, and the motorbikes are pretty powerful, but it's like, once you've finished everything else in zombies, which I imagine a lot of the people who are playing zombies regularly have done by now, what are you going to do with the Blood Burner now? Like, what are you going to be using that for? It's just, I don't know, they've not got that replayability in zombies that I think it really desperately needed. And that means that, you know, as far as I'm concerned, all of this stuff will be like, oh, I'll probably go in, try and get it, and then never use it ever again. Just like a lot of the stuff that we got in the last Dark Ether Rift. There's also the Vril Wonder Weapon schematic that you can get. I think the Vril is really terrible. Like, it's the one that turns mercenaries into zombies and zombies into mercenaries. It's not massively useful. It's much more effective just to use a gun and shoot them. But yeah, we'll be able to get a schematic for that. So, hooray! And that's it for zombies. And that's really a shame. Like, zombies is really kind of suffering. Like, that's all of the content we're getting for it. The new rift, these new schematics, and the new story mission. They've said elsewhere that there's not going to be any new perks and not going to be any new enemies. Not just for this season, but ever. They're not doing anything else like that for Modern Warfare Zombies. So it really feels like we're just going to keep on getting kind of reshuffles of existing content for it, which isn't really what anybody wants, I don't think. You know, more power to the people that are still playing MWZ and having a good time with it. But there's just not enough in it to bring me back. I think a lot of people are just waiting for Treyarch's next game now and hoping we get some proper round-based zombies with that. Now, moving on to Warzone, where things are a little bit more exciting. This is where I'm a bit more positive than maybe I expected to be about this. So there's a few new things, and one of the biggest things is that on Fortune's Keep, there's a new point of interest, the research vessel. And this thing sounds way cooler than I expected it to. So it's a big ship off the coast of Fortune's Keep, and originally I thought it was just going to be a big static ship like we've had before. You know, they added a ship to the Blackout map. We had the yacht from that. That was really, really cool. And then on Rebirth Island, they added some ships, and that was pretty cool. And this is like that. It's a massive ship with multiple floors, etc., but it actually moves around the map, which I think is really, really cool. So it's going to be like circling it. It's going to be something maybe you can hop on and hop off, but it is also a massive building with loads of kind of unique features. A little bit like the train in Urzikstan, and I'm a big fan of the train in Urzikstan, but kind of with its own unique twist. So I'm super excited about this. I think this looks really good. So, on board, there is a decontamination station that works like the PDS, so I'm guessing you'll spend a little bit of money, and then you'll be able to create a bubble that keeps you safe from the gas, which could be pretty cool. So it could be a way to survive a little bit longer if this is in ranked resurgence or something like that. It's got a UAV tower you can activate. Again, you have to pay for it. It says you'll be able to purchase unique and exclusive items from the special buy station. Now, this is really interesting. I don't think we've really had this in Warzone before, have we? Where one buy station is special and will let you buy special things. Like maybe you'll be able to get like an advanced UAV or foresight or specialist or something. I've got no idea what's going to be in there. but that's quite exciting to me that there's going to be a special buy station on board this ship. You're also going to be able to toot the horn to prove you've stormed a ship, and if you'd like more enemy interest in your current whereabouts. Now, those of you who love Easter eggs will probably remember on Rebirth Island, there was a really small Easter egg where you could beep the horn, and randomly it would do a kind of long beep instead of a short one. And then Price would say, okay, I hear you, or something, and would come and drop a care package for you that would often come with really good stuff. So I'm wondering if that'll happen again, that you'll be able to keep beeping the horn until you manage to get one of these care packages. That would be really cool. There's a helipad where there's a helicopter on it, or you'll be able to obviously land another one on there if you want to keep it safe. And then finally, and probably most interestingly, investigate the redacted and unlock the loot-filled redacted. So it sounds like there's going to be some kind of Easter egg on here. Now, Fortune's Keep already has a bunch of Easter eggs. You know, there's the ray gun in the lab, there's the special vault underneath the keep, there's the bank vaults that you can break into using the drills, there's the special cursed skull in the tower. There's a bunch of different things. I think I'm forgetting one of them. Oh, there's the Dragon Rises thing where you fire that laser beam across the map. There's a ton of different stuff in this. That's really, really cool. I think like the Easter eggs are really good. High Moon Studios did an amazing job with them. Probably some of the best we've ever had. And now it sounds like we're getting at least one more, which is really, really cool. Also added to Warzone is the Bunker Buster. I think this will be really good, especially on Fortune's Keep. Basically, it's a kill streak that fires like a vertical explosion through a building. So say the towers on Fortune's Keep are a good example of something where you could call it in. It will make explosions on every floor of that. And then it will have a gas cloud that will kind of spread out in a column. So it will force people out of those buildings, which I think is super powerful. It is really effective just kind of hiding up in one of those towers, especially the ruined one. And this will kind of be a way for people to deal with that, especially like late circle, you know, late game where you're getting sniped at from them, or they're sort of like holding everyone, shooting people down who are respawning and stuff like that. It'll be super effective to force them out of it. So I'm looking forward to that. I really hope it's quite powerful. But I also hope there's enough warning so you can kind of get out of the way. And, you know, I always hope that it's a bit of a spectacle too. Then there's the portable decontamination station. I'm pretty sure they've said this is coming into the game over and over and over again, but apparently it is finally coming. It will make a circle that's safe from the gas. Apparently after Circle 6, so the final circle, it won't last anywhere near as long. So it won't be something where it's just about kind of trying to help people win by just surviving in the gas for longer. I think it's more about making a gas play, like if people are maybe holding you out or something like that, or you want to try and catch some other people out when they rotate to avoid the gas, you'll be able to give yourself a little bit of breathing space. Or maybe you could use it to like revive someone who's fallen in the gas or something like that. That could be pretty cool. And then, like, there's a few other things I don't think are as exciting that are coming to the game. There's 2 new weapons. There's a sword called the Soul Render, which apparently has 2 different attacks. There's a normal attack, and then if you aim and hold the fire button, you can do a heavy slash where you kind of prepare it. Then as soon as you let go, you attack. That'll be kind of interesting, I guess. And it says something about the Omnigenesis weapon camo. And then there's the SOA Subverter, which is a new battle rifle. It says it's got the highest rate of fire for a battle rifle and an effective damage range of up to 25 meters. It does say it's got steady upward recoil. So for once, they're not introducing a new gun that's got no recoil. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what this is like. I'm kind of happy with the balance of weapons in Warzone right now. It feels like loads of different assault rifles and battle rifles and LMGs are all viable. So I hope this doesn't mess that up too much. I'm glad it's not another like fast-firing, high-damage SMG. Now, normally, when I do these videos, I tend to skip all the bundles and stuff, but I actually think the bundles this season, this sort of update, are really cool. So there's some Warhammer ones. Like I said, I think it's a shame that you're not getting the proper Space Marine, but there are 3 Warhammer ones, one of which will give you that Juggernaut skin when you do have a Juggernaut, but then you'll have this Operator skin the rest of the time, if you want that. It looks pretty cool with the big arm, like shoulder pads and stuff. Although today I was playing as Inarius, the Diablo angel guy, and an enemy saw me because my shoulder pads were sticking out. So do bear that in mind. But you also get kind of a cool shield skin and a few weapon skin stuff. It looks pretty good. I'll be interested to see what the finishing moves and stuff like that look like with it. Then there's also this Sister of Battle one, which I think that looks really cool. It's kind of black and red skin. I think that looks awesome, so that'll be interesting. And then there is this one, which is Astra Militarum. I don't know enough about Warhammer to know what any of these things are, but This looks pretty cool again. It almost looks a bit Star Warsy, doesn't it? But it's this kind of green suit with a little backpack and stuff. Looks a little bit, you know, like the real Warhammer figures, a bit plasticky. I think it looks pretty cool. So yeah, I'm kind of intrigued by all of them. And then there's one that's took me by surprise. There's a Kong tracer pack. Bits of a shame that there's not a one for the new Godzilla, you know, that sort of one that glows pink and everything. But I think this actually looks like a pretty cool operator skin. I quite like that. It's kind of funny that it's got the yellow gun as if it's a banana, because he's Kong, so he has to have banana. I know it's probably meant to look like his big fist thing that he's got in the new trailer, but yeah, to me it just looks like he's holding a giant banana, which is funny. But anyway, that skin looks pretty cool, so I'm interested in that. And then there's a new Dune one. I thought all of the Dune operator bundles didn't look that great, but this one looks pretty cool, and because it's all black, I'm sure there will be plenty of people that want to skulk around in the shadows with it, so it'll be interesting to see how they manage to balance that one. And then there's a bunch of other stuff. There's some new mid-season challenges, you know, new camos and stuff like that, which is kind of interesting. So let me know in the comments what you think about this. I'm kind of optimistic about it. I'm kind of excited about it. I think a lot of the new bundles look pretty cool. I'm really excited about the new point of interest in Fortune's Keep. And of course, as soon as all of this goes live on Wednesday afternoon, I'll be streaming it right here. So make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on, and I'll see you for the next one. Goodbye.